Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Folks, we're back. Mike Kruizinga, Inside Real Estate, Sports, Entertainment, Politics. Welcome back to the show. Hey, time to talk a little business and insurance with Mr. Richard Tonihka over at Goosehead Insurance. He's keeping us straight on protecting all of our assets out there. And RichardTAgency.com is the website, RichardTAgency.com. What's up, Richard?
Hey, Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm very good.
Fantastic. Okay.
What do we got?
We got a lot. Not as much as Terry, but we've got a lot.
We're a fast pace today, so.
So what we're talking about today is what are the items that affect your rate that you're going to get from the different credit companies, or not from the different credit companies, the different insurance carriers, and is this strictly across the board the same way with everyone? No. Everyone's going to have different variations of everything, but this is a general guideline of this is how insurance carriers come up with the rate that they're giving you for your home insurance. It may affect your auto insurance, but we're really concentrating on the home insurance. The first thing that comes up is we're going to talk about credit score. So if you're purchasing a new house, you've obviously got a better credit score than a lot of people, but it's still they're looking at the history of it, not just the recent credit score. They're looking at the last 2 years, which I believe that's what Terry looks at when she's looking at your mortgage and being able to put you in something is the last 2 years. What have you done recently? That's what they're going to use as a determining factor of what they can expect from you going forward. Because people with lower credit scores usually have higher claims rates. So
it's funny how that works.
I know.
It just is what it is.
Everybody has to have insurance, and it's great until you have to use it, and then insurance companies don't like paying out money. They love taking it in. They don't like paying it out, though.
No, they don't.
The second thing is the age of your house, the age and location, because the age, location, and the materials that are used to build your house. There are some carriers that after a home is 40, 50 years old, they simply won't touch it. There are some carriers that will go all the way back to 1900 and so on. But every carrier is going to be a little bit different in their writing guidelines. But when you're looking at a frame house versus a brick veneer house or a stucco house, all those have different building rates, and that is going to affect how long does the fire department have to get to your house before it's completely
totally
in flames. And so the more flame retardant things such as brick is going to last longer and going to be a better investment for certain carriers. And there are some carriers that simply will not do an old frame house because of that very reason. It's just once it catches on fire, it's pretty much gone.
So if you live in a concrete and steel bunker, then maybe you get some good rates.
Well, one of the things about, the Goosehead model is we shop you with over 20 different companies and finding the best rate for you. It's not just the rate, it's also the policy. Like I always say, a great rate doesn't mean much if you don't have a great policy to go along with it.
Right.
And so, anyway, the next thing that we look at is your claims history. Not only your personal claims history, but the claims history of that particular house. Because although you may just be purchasing this house, the previous customer or previous owners may have had 2 water leaks, 2 water claims, a hail claim. The hail claim you can't do anything about. But once you start having water and those kind of claims coming from the pipes, not necessarily an appliance, but pipes, then you're starting to look at, and this is mostly with older homes, you're starting to look at, well, all these pipes are going to have to be replaced or else you're going to start seeing this kind of claim pop up and up. And so that's the reason that a lot of carriers will limit the number of claims and the different types of claims, depending on if it's water, hail, no matter what it is. Everyone looks at not only the number, but the type of claim as well.
Yeah, that's important to point out because I don't think a lot of people think about that. They think about themselves being insured, but the home is also being insured as well. More than likely, people lived there previously, and there may be claims history on that house. So that's a really good point.
Absolutely. And
point out.
when I'm going through, there's something called a clue report that shows what claims have been issued by the person and on the home. And so I'll tell people that I'm talking to, do you know about this particular claim on this house? Because it's important for them to know that this is something that has happened in this house. If it wasn't addressed or noted in the inspection, it's something that they need to bring up with the customer and find out what happened and was everything taken care of.
Right.
Again, you can talk about the amount of coverage and stuff like that. It really, the big things are the things that I got to at the very beginning. Your credit history, the age, condition, and materials used to build the house, and your claims. Are there a lot more things that come into it? Absolutely. And once we have more time, we'll actually get into each one of these different items and start going through it and explain exactly why it's important and how they come to the decisions that they come to.
Yeah, and I know we always have sort of rolling segments when it comes to insurance because insurance is so complicated. But, Richard Tonihka breaks it down for us. He gives us the nuts and bolts of what's going on behind it. Don't forget, he can shop over 20-plus agencies to get you the best policy, the best insurance for home, auto, toys, and otherwise. RichardTAgency.com is the website. RichardTAgency.com is the website. Give him a buzz. Folks, we're going to be back in a few.